Hello, my name is Randall Avers, and today we're going to be talking about fretboard hand guitar technique. I've been teaching guitar for a little over 25 years now. I've been playing guitar for close to 35 years, and I wanted to share with you some of the observations that I've had through playing and teaching, and would be really interested to hear your comments after watching through this video. Whether or not you agree with some of these concepts or if you think it's just complete rubbish. So, anyways, just getting right to the lesson here, there are basically two types of movements that you have on the guitar in their purest sense. You have horizontal motion and you have vertical motion. So, horizontal motion is basically when you're doing glissandi, or you're moving from one position to another on one string, and then position playing or vertical playing, vertical motion as I call it. This is basically transferring your fingers from one string to another or hopping over strings or so. So what I want to talk about today are those two aspects of guitar playing, and also what's very important about this whole discussion here is that you use completely different sets of muscles to do each of these things accurately. And it's really important to talk about that particular aspect of it. So let's begin with horizontal motion. Horizontal motion actually begins with a very good sitting posture. Now, a good sitting posture is where you're sitting so that your spine is aligned, and your shoulders are also aligned, and your spine does have a curve, in the lower part here, which makes it so that the top part of the spine curves outwards like this. So you're not going to be hunched over like that, but your body's going to come out a little bit more like this. Your chest is going to come out a little bit more like that. And which allows your shoulders to not be forward, but to kind of hang back. And that's the idea. The shoulders have to hang. When the shoulders hang, then your arm really has a lot of weight to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your first finger here on the left hand, and what we're going to do is we're going to place this on the first fret of the first string, right on the fingertip. And when I'm talking about fingertips, I have a really very precise idea of what fingertips are. They're much more in line with how a violin player would play than a guitarist would play. And that means right on the fingertip. Okay? So, now I'm on the fingertip, first string, first fret, and my body's aligned and everything. So, what I feel right here is I feel a lot of weight in my arm. As you can see, or maybe not, you can see that it's hanging. The elbow is right down here. And there is a considerable amount of weight in my arm right here. And this weight right here, if I relax my thumb and just allow it to happen, this weight will let my hand drop from first position to 10th position with no effort at all. So let's just get used to that feel right there. Let's go through all four fingers on the first string and see if that motion goes very easily. If you feel like it's going great, then try two fingers down, maybe one and two, one on the first string, two on the second string. See if you have that same ease. Try a D chord. Try a C chord. See if you can do that. These get more complicated the more fingers that you put down. And basically, it all has to do with whether or not you're on your fingertips. Now, that's how you move from here to here. How you move back down is, in my opinion, it's a mirror of how you got there in the first place. So, as you can see, your shoulder is, as you can feel right here, your shoulder is actually very heavy. Your elbow is in. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the elbow in as we're moving towards first position, and then once we get right around the third fret, then the elbow is going to dislodge from the side and complete the motion. So here we go, this way, and then I get right around the 3rd fret, and then I feel my elbow come out and complete the motion. So it will look something like this. Alright? So try that a few times, try it on different strings, different finger combinations or so. But get used to the idea that this has to not move or adjust as you're doing your shift. The less adjusting that you do here, the more success you'll have in going to your correct destination here. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Okay, so that's basically horizontal motion. Now we'll talk a little bit about vertical motion. And this is also, to me, there's not been a lot of research done or a lot of talk done in the idea of transferring weight from one finger to another. As you felt right here, there's a lot of weight in your arm, and that weight is there. Your arm weighs a certain amount, your hand weighs a certain amount, and things. And just like your 2 legs support your own body, if you're not able to support your body with a certain number or a certain amount of counter pressure, you're going to fall over. Same thing with guitar playing. If you don't have strong enough counter pressure onto the string, your hand's going to collapse this way or that way. And so this exercise is going to build up some strength for you, plus also it's going to really give you an idea of how you should move around a guitar to create a very efficient, accurate legato. So this one's called the cat. So we're going to start on the 6th string. First finger is on the 5th fret, and the thumb is placed directly behind the 2nd finger, and it's high up, it isn't low. If it's low, then as you can see, the wrist goes out like that, and that's not good for anything. It's bad for your hand, plus also, look, it just gets your alignment out. So all of a sudden, it does stuff like that. Don't mess with the wrist. Find the dexterity in the fingers. Okay? So, this is what we'll do. Step 1, put all 4 fingers down, thumb directly behind 2. Feel that every single finger has the same amount of weight pushing into it, and enough weight to support your hand and to support the weight of your arm. Okay, that's the first step. Second step is we're going to drain all the weight that's in these 3 fingers and apply that heavily into this finger right here. The more weight that you apply into this finger, the more that these fingers relax, and eventually they're just going to pop up. That's step 2. Step 3, we're going to take these 3 fingers, we're going to place them on the 5th string. Step 4, we're going to place all the combined weight of the hand evenly between these 3 fingers. Feel that? Remember, you should have that sort of counter pressure feel in each of these fingers, much like if you're standing up and your legs are keeping your body from falling down. This is counter pressure that you need to apply on these fingers. This finger's popped up, so now we're going to place it on the 4th string, push down there, place this on the 3rd string, 2nd, 1st, and then everyone's on the 1st. All the fingers are on the 1st string. Now we'll make our way back by applying counter pressure onto this finger, all the weight there, all the weight distributed between these 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then we made our way back. Great. Next lesson is this one. What we're going to do is we're going to apply weight on 1, 3, and 4. See that? 2 pops up. Apply all the weight on 2 to the point where the other fingers pop up. Apply all the weight on 1, 3, and 4, so 2 pops up. All the weight so that all these fingers pop up. Place that on the next one. There you go. And then we'll make our way back down like that. Okay. Take your time. every sort of technical exercise that you do right there should be done with the idea of perfection in mind, because this is all very mechanical. This is like machinery. You want to make sure that you don't fly off the side of the road here. So when you're playing musical pieces or so, you can allow certain things to happen or so, but when you have the singular focus on how technique is supposed to go, you should really focus in on making very efficient and very perfect motions. Okay, now the next one is we're going to apply pressure on 1, 2, and 4. This one's going to feel very weird. You're going to put all your weight on the most awkward finger, third one, and there you go. A good gauge for whether or not you're doing this well also is by occasionally checking the headstock. If the headstock is bumping back and forth, that means that your motion or your transfer of weight from one set of fingers to another set of fingers is not very good. So it's like you should be gliding along as opposed to hopping or jumping. All right, the next one is this one. Applying pressure on 1, 2, and 3 so that 4 pops up. Now 4 is going to have to press down quite a bit to hold all the weight of everything. There you go. All right, now we have 3 sets of 2-finger combinations. 1 and 2. Then we have the outer fingers, 1 and 4. So this one for me, taking a little extra time to make sure that my placement is very good. And then the very last one is 1 and 3. There you go. So that's the whole exercise right there. So just in summary, there's 2 different groups of muscles that you use for 2 different types of left hand motion. And moving horizontally, it's very important to keep in mind how everything lines up with your body and shoulders and back. And then here, it's all about not using your wrist or anything like that, but just really trying to work on the dexterity of the fingers themselves. So, if you like what you saw today, or if you have any questions, or if you don't like it and want to discuss, please send me an e-post. My email address is Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, A-V-E-R-S, Randy Avers @gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed this little seminar here, and stay in touch. Thank you.